Feeling down? Well, reverse that frown, because your boy's back in town. If skill was water, you would drown. While you wait for my mixtape to drop, I'm back with 10 sexy bard plays for the week. At number 10, we have a Jin who forgot to count his Mississippus and took a step too many forward. Before he could count the 4, get it? 4 offers, he was already dead. At number 9 this week, we have a game that lasted for way longer than it should and was now at a stalemate that seemed like was never gonna end. However, Barden set a great at forcing havoc, and while I locked Raven in my ultimate set, asked us to hold his beer and went in like a maniac, despite lasting longer tanking him than I do in the bathroom after one too many burgers. Set eventually succumbed to the numbers game. His job was done, however, and it allowed us to go in and clean the fight for our team. The fact that Raven and Lulu decided to line up perfectly for an easy stun is something I always appreciate as well. We all know the chicken shit individual that tries to act all tough when no one his size is around. In this instance, Caitlyn tried to get a piece of that ash just because I roamed to the river to catch some meeps. Bard is like Jesus, Caitlyn, omnipresent. I considered a lot uploading this next one since it features the biggest flash fail of my career, but after reconsidering, these are supposed to be bad plays. So instead, I decided to slow motion the glorious moment. After failing so immensely, and getting Mordekaiser ultied, one would feel the temptation to just let sweet Lady Death embrace you. But I'm Bard, and, for us, Bards, our breakfast is defying odds and surviving the most desperate of situations. After surviving Freddy Krueger's nightmare in one piece, I proceed to bait both him and the cow to my team. Lee Sin and Maokai helped me to slowly take them down and granting our team a nice team fight, especially considering how it should had started with me being quickly deleted. The ability to keep Mordekaiser entertained chasing the support allowed my team to have an easier fight elsewhere and eventually come back to win it, granting us a bonus strike afterwards. Number 6 this week features an Aatrox that just won't give up on his gank. He starts up by completely ignoring Thresh's lantern and going all the way around, giving us time to back off. Despite being locked in my ultimate stunned and seeing his support die in the counter gank, he still hesitates to fall back. Sejuani also chases Jinx a little bit too far and pays the price for it. I politely invite Aatrox to go back with a few auto attacks, and I'd like to bring attention to the fact that he was off the hook safe at this stage. But Aatrox did not seem too keen on learning from past mistakes and simply decided to walk forward again into us for some reason, and I was more than happy to pin him to the wall and deliver my Ezreal an extra kill. Fail gank me once, shame on you. Fail gank me twice, nah, shame on you, still. Do you know what beats chasing Singed in stupidity? If you guessed chasing Bard, then you clearly weren't in the opposing team on this play. After having my magical journey rudely interrupted by Hecarim and having to flash behind Maokai to use him as a meat shield for Caitlyn's ultimate, the enemy team could had just called it a day and backed off. Instead, Hecarim decided to follow me on my portal and hand us some gold. Not happy enough with this outcome, Mordekaiser followed his Shadow Isles mate to the afterlife. Is there anything else I could say here besides thanks? You guys let me know. You've pushed mid lane. You have enough gold for your bloodthirster and there isn't an enemy in your minimap. You click B and check the shop menu. It all sounds great until you remember the enemy team has a bard and you get turned into a statue. Suddenly, you and your teammates are now forced into a fight you probably weren't prepared for, and every plan you had comes crashing down. Despite Raven's team reacting very quickly, you notice that they weren't on the toes for this fight. Nasus was already a monster at this stage and just needed me to act as bait for Draven, Shyvana and Kayn long enough to drop his Kayn on him. So I dangled the carrot and ended up taking a page off the last play, inviting Kayn into my portal. I'm always amazed how that keeps working. You know, in zombie movies, when one member gets bit, there's always the dude that immediately tries to help and chop his leg off or something. But there's also always that selfish one that just hides away, despite being perfectly able to help. Well, in this play, that dude is Tristana, and I don't appreciate how she completely ignored Thresh and got to die back there, so I portal into her to teach her to always take care of her own. Of course, Rumble, being Tristana's eternal simp, also stayed back and deserves the same treatment. Even worse offenders are those dudes that just never learn to take a no for an answer. In this play, Pike desperately wants to get back at me for denying him his engage on my ID carry. So let's do a mental exercise and consider every auto or ability I land on him as a no. Alright, let's do this. No. 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 Maybe he got the message here. Yeah, I don't think so. No. No, no. 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 No, no. I mean, if after all that, you still haven't learned your lesson, you deserve your punishment. There are always those matches in which no matter how far ahead your team is, you can't seem to be able to force that one team fight that allows you to win the game. Well, that is the time Bard shines the most. Bard's ultimate allows you to literally lock the opponent team in place and prepare your CC and damage to land effectively, and that is one of the reasons I love this champion so much. Number 1 play for this week showcases precisely that and reinforces why I believe Bard is the best support in the game, hence why I wanted to let you go with this one. Don't worry, I will only let you go for a single week, and I'll be here next Friday with 10 more plays. Goodbye.